I am pleased now to introduce Mr. Rion Patawaran, a candidate for the degree of Master of Business Administration. He is representing the graduating class of 2004 in the Masagan Graduate School of Management as their speaker today. Mr. Patawaran.
Honorable Chairman Charles Geschke, members of the Board of Trustees, University President Father Stephen Privet, esteemed professors of the university, fellow graduates, parents, and friends of the Jesuit University of San Francisco, good afternoon. My name is Rion Patawaran, and this afternoon I will graduate from the university's MBA program. It is a great honor and privilege to speak to you this afternoon on behalf of the Schools of Arts and Sciences, Nursing and Business. I may not have studied the same classes nor shared the same activities with those of the Arts and Sciences or Nursing students, but I'm definitely sure of one thing we all share in common. The very reason I stand before you today is because of that reality, which will forever be part of our lives. We are all one because of our Jesuit education. When I left Manila and first arrived in San Francisco, I was overwhelmed by the city's energy and diversity. Best of all, I have met a lot of interesting people leading such interesting lives. In my country, life is very predictable, and Filipinos back home have implicit expectations of how life should be lived. If you are a man and you come from a rich family, you should finish your education, find a way to become richer, look for a wife, raise a family, grow old, and then die. If you are a woman and you come from a rich family, you need not finish school as long as you find a rich husband, and together you raise a family, grow old, and then die. However, if you come from a poor family, you should find a way to become rich, or you do not even grow old, you just die. If you cannot survive life at home, you flee the country to work as a domestic helper in Hong Kong or as a nurse in the United States or Europe. The status quo has pretty much been the same, at least during our nation's past history. In the Bay Area, however, there are no set patterns or expectations. You can be who you want to be, and you can only praise or blame yourself for whatever happens. You cannot blame your rich parents, or if you are poor, the corrupt government. In America, you are your own deliverance. I realized the fact during my first semester at USF after lifting so many boxes at the USF mailroom, earning $8 an hour. A month ago, I helped Father Privet in President Arroyo's visit to the university. In America or the Bay Area, or especially here in USF, there are no barriers. Age is not a barrier, ethnicity is not a barrier, gender is not a barrier, and definitely socioeconomic status is not a barrier. Aristotle said that the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. I thank our Jesuit education for letting me realize that there are no barriers to prevent me from reaping the sweet fruits of Jesuit education. I learned 3 things from the Jesuit tradition. First, ingenuity. After reading about the influential works of Jesuits in history, they taught me that there is always a better way of doing things. Whether it was Christopher Clavius's efforts in fixing the imprecise lunar calendar, or Matteo Ricci's contributions to the Chinese imperial court, Jesuits have always inspired me to make a difference. On campus, the same enthusiasm exists. Last April, we all gathered at our Correct Gym to build the world's first flash mob supercomputer. I would like to thank the university's computer science department for reminding us of our ingenious roots. Second, love. Our school also has a tradition of welcoming all peoples of the world from all cultures and persuasions. Just September of last year, the Dalai Lama visited our campus. Just last month, our school hosted the gospel choir concert with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus and our very own USF Gospel Choir. We all received an invitation from Father Privet himself to support that activity. Indeed, Ignatius' call to refuse no talent is alive in USF. I believe it is love that makes the Jesuit tradition the most ecumenical, the most tolerant, the most universal, and probably the most relevant influence in today's world. Last, self-awareness. I realized that it was self-knowledge that made me grow during the last year of my education at USF. During the adjustment phase of my first semester in school, however, I felt alienated. I always compared my experiences and the quality of my friendships to those that I have back home. In my first months in the United States, I wanted to go back to Manila because that gave me comfort. However, as I became more aware of myself and began sharing my background and experiences to students, professors, and the staff on campus, I have probably learned much more about myself and others than during the first 23 years of my existence. I realized that learning did not depend on where I was or who I was with. Learning started in me. My willingness to share and participate in other people's lives enriched my stay in USF. Moreover, I can confidently say that USF has brought out the best in me. Self-awareness made it possible to overcome perceived barriers and get the most out of my experience here. While I cannot but fully express my appreciation for our Jesuit education, I would like to acknowledge the efforts of our professors in imparting their knowledge and expertise to us, their students. Finally, I would like to thank my parents for always going to my graduations. This is the 5th graduation that they have attended. Mama, although the first 4 graduations that you have attended were normal commencement exercises, this time, Mama, I get to speak on stage. Lastly, Papa, thank you for reminding me that I am my own deliverance. Thank you for leading our family and being strong for all of us. I love you both. Romeo once said to Juliet, "Parting is such sweet sorrow." At this very moment, I ask all of us to part so that we not only enjoy the sweet sorrow, but the sweet fruits of our Jesuit education. Congratulations, thank you, and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patawaran.